Hello, friends and neighbors, and thank you for joining us on the 22nd day of the second month of the year 2022 for our 20th episode. Welcome to Ray and Benny Talk Sports. We're here at the underground recording studio near the former site of the Bonanza on McPhillips. Don't worry, Grimy, producer Grimy, is watching the front door. And as always, we have the man who got slapped around by a priest on his wedding day. Benny, how are you doing, brother?
I'm good. I recovered from those slaps quite a while ago, but all good.
Yeah, you should have went and concussion protocols on that day. He was hitting you with the book in his hand and everything.
Yeah, I had to ice up my head there afterwards. Nice little welt going on.
Oh, bless that priest. Bless that. He just married my sister this past summer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's still doing it, still marrying people. It's all good.
I just saw him the other day, actually, at a restaurant. So there you
Father
go.
Sam.
Father Sam, yeah.
Nice. Did he hit you?
No, I was too far away from him, so he couldn't get over the table.
You should have got a jab in there while you could, brother.
Yeah, I guess. Probably wouldn't be a good thing, but
this is turning dark. No.
I will say I do miss Bonanza though. That place was fantastic.
Wasn't that like the salad bar alone at that joint was amazing? Did you ever go down south, like Fargo, to go to Bonanza there?
All the time, yeah. Yeah, I think that was one of the few places we would have ate out at, really.
Bonanza.
Isn't that where we went when we went to Labor Day in Saskatchewan? Wasn't it Bonanza that we ended up going to?
I don't think, was it?
It's something like that, because they were all closed here already, but there was still one more left out in Regina there. So
when we go to Regina, I have a hard time remembering things.
That's true.
Sorry, I can neither confirm or deny that.
Yeah.
Friends and neighbors, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. It helps not young, two old guys doing a young podcast. It helps us get us out there. So thank you for your support this week. So many subscribers. Thank you. Leave a like, leave a comment, help us out. We appreciate it dearly. Last week's question, remember, bro, was the 2022 halftime show the greatest of all time? Do you think it was the greatest of all time? Be honest.
Yeah, I think so. It was one up there for me for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the Bruno Mars kind of stuff, music. So
fair.
To each their own. People like that. I saw some of those comments. There is so much for and then so much against.
It was a divisive subject, but it was a fun divisive subject. And there were hundreds of replies and hundreds of likes, comments, angry faces, crying. It was really cool to see all those responses. Shout out to Virak, actually, who responded on Facebook. You have to love and grow up with that awesome songs. Hip hop is not the same anymore nowadays. I agree.
Yeah.
Hip hop's not the same, bro. I still listen to Dr. Dre, Rage Against the Machine, Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money.
$100 bills, yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I don't like the new stuff. So shout out to Virak for that comment. And our homie, talking about back in the day, Arvin Sodi said he wishes that show was longer. I agree with that for sure.
I think that was the biggest thing for a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Another 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. You know what? Forget the second half. Just go on a concert.
Yeah, I agree. I'm already looking forward to next year's Super Bowl halftime show. Never mind the Super Bowl. But let's talk about what's going on now. We got some NFL action to talk about. It's the off-season business. The new NFL year is coming. We got some CFL business to talk about still, of course. And we're going to talk about some NHL action. But we got a new segment going on here called Who Would You Take? And what we do here is we provide ourselves with a few options. And of course, feel free to comment in the comment section below with your choices. But we're going to take professional coaches. So we're going to give ourselves a few options in each of these leagues as to who we would take. And we'll see how this goes. So let's talk football. Let's start the NFL. We have Vince Lombardi, Bill Belichick, Bill Walsh, Chuck Noll. If you're going to start football team, which coach would you take out of those, brother? Vince Lombardi, Bill Belichick, Bill Walsh, or Chuck Noll?
Yeah, that's a tough list. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with any one of these guys, really. I leaned a little bit to Bill Walsh because I'm a Niner fan and all that, but at the end of the day, I think I have to go with Bill Belichick and what he's put together in the NFL. I mean, all those Super Bowl wins. I mean, they've been to others that they've lost.
Yeah.
you know, and he had a losing season, Brady's first season gone, and then all of a sudden he's right back in the playoffs again. So, you know, have to keep it going for as long as they did.
Yeah.
You know, like Walsh had it going good in the 80s, but he burnt out by the end of the 80s and, you know, he was gone. You know,
Yeah.
Bill's gone for 20 years here. So to me, I'd take Bill Belichick.
I give it to the evil empire too, man. It's like all of the other coaches, Lombardi, Walsh, Chuck Noll with his 3-4, Walsh with his West Coast, Vince Lombardi with the sweep and moving the offensive linemen. They all made these huge changes to the game, but Bill Belichick just kept winning championships. And this is like during the free agency era where players come and go way easier than they did back in the day. So I'd have to go with Bill Belichick as well.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll find out everything that he did to cheat to win all those Super Bowls, right?
Oh, gosh. Oh, here we go. Anyway, let's wait till he retires to get into that. or not. Maybe next week we'll see what happens. We know he's not very good with the text machine. He's not very good.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing Josh McDaniels is out there right now coaching by himself, he'll do something that Bill Belichick used to do in the past and get caught. And then that's how we find out.
Yeah, you know, Bill Belichick is great, but he doesn't have a very good tree or a big tree. Like he's part of the Parcells tree, but his tree is kind of, the roots are weak.
Yeah, none of them have ever fared well away from him.
No.
Except for Vrabel, I guess. Vrabel's really the only one.
Coach of the year.
Yeah.
No ring yet, but still coach of the year. Whatever. Let's go on to the CFL coaches. Who would you take? We have Don Matthews, Cal Murphy, Wally Buono, Hugh Campbell. Should I go first this time?
Yeah, you go first on this one.
All of them, of course. Like you said, it's tough to go wrong. So you're kind of nitpicking at things. And props to Wally Buono, amazing coach, amazing running Calgary and BC. And of course, to Cal Murphy, local hero, Winnipeg born, and Don Matthews, one of the greatest of all time. But I'm going to go with Hugh Campbell. 5 championships in a row. And like Cal Murphy and Don Matthews are from Hugh Campbell's tree. So I'm going to take Hugh Campbell, even though it's the Edmonton franchise. But, you know, props to them. Props to them. Hugh Campbell is an amazing coach. Who are you going to take, brother?
You know, I got to stick with the Italian guy and go with Wally Buono, only because he's Italian.
Yeah, only because.
No, I got to go with Wally just because he's got the most wins. He's got 5 Grey Cup championships. Calgary was good for how long? Yeah. You know, and the unfortunate thing with Calgary is they couldn't finish and win those Grey Cups.
True.
And then he took BC and built them up and got 2 more Grey Cups out of them. So, yeah, like he missed the playoffs, I think, 2 times over 25 years or whatever that he was coaching and all that. So that's pretty good to me. So yeah, I think I'd go with Wally.
Good choice. Good choice. And the last one we got, who would you take in hockey? Scotty Bowman, John Cooper, Glenn Sather, Al Arbor. This is the one I had the toughest time with, brother. But I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I tried to figure out any of these other guys that I could end up taking, but I stuck with Scotty Bowman. And his 10 Stanley Cup victories.
Yeah.
You know, but it spanned from the 70s, you know, to the early 2000s. You know, it wasn't just one era of just 6 teams or whatever winning that all, right?
Yeah.
He took, we're talking about building a team or expansion team. He took St. Louis to the Cup Finals in the late 60s when they first started. So to me, and then 657 win percentage, can't top that right now. So Scotty Bowman would be my guy.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, brother. There's not much I can add to that. He's like 4th all-time percentage points won. And you named all the rest of the things I had. Like I would have loved to gone with Al Arbor, winning those 4 in a row dynasty, and then having Edmonton end it. But yeah,
it's the same with those guys though. They were good. Like say they're good 80s. You know, at 90s when he went to New York, it was okay, nothing great. Al Arbor won those 4 with the Islanders, and then really that's it, right? So
the span of great work really gives it to Bowman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So that was who would you take? So those were tough ones, brother.
It's hard. I mean, you're never going to go wrong with any of those guys, right? All 12 of those guys would be perfect to have. So
yeah, feel free to participate, friends and neighbors. Use a comment section, leave a like. Let's move on to the team of that beautiful vintage jersey you got wearing. Who is that? We know what team it is. Who you got in the back?
Good old Mark Barron of the Winnipeg Jets back in the 80s.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's Mark Barron? Tell me about this player.
He was supposed to be the next best Jets goalie back in the 80s, drafted, all that jazz. Yeah, they were looking forward to what he could bring, and dude ended up only playing about 40 games, had a 482 goals against average, and .844 save percentage.
Yeah,
I know goaltending was rougher back in the 80s, but that's terrible when you're considered as the next best Jet goalie that could be. But we all know how Jets goaltending was in the 80s.
Oof. It was pretty bad all the way to the end, until Howie Boulin came to town, pretty much.
Exactly. Essenza had a few good seasons, but Howie Boulin really stood out.
Oh, yeah.
If we would have had Howie Boulin back in the 80s with all those good Jets teams, probably win.
Hey, we still have to face Edmonton in the Smythe division, so I don't know. But let's talk about these Jets. Jets 2.0. Man, we were reminiscing today, sitting back in the reminiscent rocket chair. I'd kind of rather talk about the 80s Jets than the Jets right now, because this is ultimate disappointing. Because at least with the 80s Jets, you weren't expecting them to go far. This team is, brother, I've given up hope, I think. I'm almost there. They're not mathematically out, but last week we were talking about, they can't win 2 in a row. They win 2 in a row, and then what happens?
Yeah, the Jets happen, right? I mean, last week we talked, they were 7 points out of the wild card spot. Well, they're 7 points out of the wild card spot still. And now they're even with other teams in games played. So they didn't take advantage of any of those games in hand that they had, and looked promising to start this week off. You beat Minnesota again, 6-3, Scheifele with a hat trick. Wheeler 4 points, and you're thinking, okay, this is great. Slow start against the Kraken, down 2-0, but they ended up fighting back, and winning that game 5-3. And it looks good. And then you have a tough stretch with Edmonton and Calgary, and you lose both games. Even against Edmonton, they weren't ready to play that game.
No, they got both games.
Yeah, they had a quick 2-man advantage against Edmonton, and I don't even think they got a shot away on that 2-man advantage. Edmonton get a power play and score right away. So not taking advantage. And even in yesterday's game against Calgary there, people, they're like lamenting that they lost this point or they played well. No, they were pretty terrible in that second period. Yeah, they fought back and played better in that third, but their identity wasn't there all game again. And I think it was PLD that mentioned something like they're playing the way their opponents want them to play and not playing the way the Jets or Lowry wants them to play. So Absolutely. They still haven't figured that out yet, which is kind of disappointing. But I will say one thing, because we ragged on him a lot earlier in the season, but Blake Wheeler has turned it up a bit, and he's getting the points and fully deserving right now that first line minutes and everything that he's done there between him and Scheifele and Stasny on that line. So I will give him props, because we were ragging on him pretty good. So
yeah, he likes to shut people up, and he does that every year, but it's time to move on. It is time to really think about the trade deadline, what pieces to move, what to get back. And I know last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, I kind of suggested under my breath that they should think about trading Scheifele. And I think, bro, if you get the right offer, you do it. Right offer of picks, prospects, and maybe a serviceable player, you do it. Because once they got to get rid of the coach, and there's no chemistry with this team. Like you say, there's no identity. No one wants to hit anyone. No one wants to play with speed. They're playing on their heels. It's ridiculous. Or they don't look like they know what they're doing, which is not a good thing. And Lowry's not going to be back next year. Come on. Be honest with me, brother. Is he going to be back next year?
No. The thing that bothers me about him is you have to do something different than what Maurice did. Okay, so you got all these guys who are hurt. Hainala was doing pretty good. Stanley comes back and you throw him back in and shove Hainala out. You know what? Maurice was playing Stanley. Maurice was playing the same defensive stuff. Switch them up. To me, Schmidt and Dillon, they've been okay. They haven't been the home runs that I think Chevy thought they would be when they signed them. Stanley and Schmidt, to me, look rough out there.
Yeah.
And even on the goal that was disallowed by the Calgary there, both of them were staring at Hellebuck instead of looking where the puck was coming from or anything like that. It's ridiculous. And again, bottom six, you got 2 goals by Toninato over the last 2 games, and Lowry scored, but 2 of them were shorthanded. So there's really no scoring going on there, right?
Yeah.
Lowry doesn't know what's going on.
No.
You pick up Adam Brooks. Winnipeg boy, Manitoba
Winnipeg
boy.
Yeah, man.
And then you plop him in his first game back on the second line with PLD and Connor. Sorry, man. Give the guy a chance to get acquainted with his team, get in there, see what he can do. Maybe he'll do fine on that line, but not this first game is not going to mesh for them.
Maybe put Svechnikov on that line because it worked.
What did that guy do to this team to have them hate him so much?
He took Lowry's name in vain, I'm telling you. Something went wrong there. It's like, come on, just put the guy up there. And like you said, let the new guy get acquainted. Let him start feeling the room a bit.
Yeah.
But, oh, my goodness. Let's put him on the second line.
Yeah. And we'll play Svech 3 minutes and we'll play Adam Brooks 15. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't make sense. And that's the thing. What did Svechnikov do? That's what I'd love to know.
No.
Even Vesalainen, like that guy, like, again, I guess that's a wasted pick there from Chevy. And I don't know. Is it time to move on from the guy? Time to give the guy a fresh start because he's not getting the chances here. Like you're playing this Pagansky guy who I've never even heard of before this season every single game.
Yeah.
So
what's the motivation there?
He's leapfrogged your first overall pick or first round pick from a few years ago in Vesalainen.
Yeah. Things are going to change. And I don't even know if Cheveldayoff is the next guy to make, but he's the guy to make the moves at the trade deadline. But like, do you keep giving him the keys to the car going into next year?
No, I'd be done.
Because it's going to be a little bit of a rebuild if they start trading pieces, brother. It's going to be a little bit of a rebuild.
Yeah, I'd be done with. I'd be cleaning house really if it was me at the end of this season because Lowry hasn't worked out. And I don't know what Chevy was thinking there.
For sure, he's got to go.
But to me, I think Chevy's got to go too at this point because, how long have they been back here? Yeah, we made it to the Western Conference Final, but every other year for the most part, it's been pretty mediocre, right? Even we expected them even after the Western Conference Final to go far in the next playoffs, and then they were out in the first round, right?
So what if they traded Kopp, Stasny, maybe Scheifele, and they had brought in some young people, still have a good core, and brought in Pascal Vincent from Columbus? Would you want Cheveldayoff to stick around?
I don't know, man. I don't want to waste another year seeing what it's going to be like. I know at that point you're rebuilding, so no one would probably be on the hot seat next year, anyways. I think if Vincent probably did not leave this offseason, he probably would have been the head coach right now. And I was kind of interested even to see last year with if Maurice didn't come back, or if they got rid of him. If Vincent got the job, that was interesting to see what he could do. We know the Jets aren't going to go out there and get a big name. Right. Yeah.
Well, I think they should try and go maybe off the board or someone like, how the Rob Brindamore hiring was.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Maybe they can get Martin St. Louis from Montreal.
Oh goodness, he's gonna work out there. Watch, bro,
dude. He's won 3 in a row now. He's on fire.
Everyone makes a coaching change. It works. We do one. Well, not really coaching. Anyways, let's talk about some stuff going on around the NHL. Let's move on from the Jets. We'll talk about them again next week. Upcoming games. Sorry, what's their schedule looking like next week?
Dallas, Colorado, and Arizona, all on the road.
I'd rather talk about Arizona in their 5,000 seat stadium at this point, brother.
Yeah, we've seen how they've struggled against Arizona this year. Losing once and barely winning the second time. So, you know what? I got to mention one point from Dave Lowry. One statement he made.
Please. I hope it's encouraging.
Oh God, no.
Oh yeah.
His adjustments to bringing back these guys into the lineup and saying you can't have all skill guys in your lineup. We need to have some guys that can go up and down, get in on the forecheck, and turn pucks over. Okay, kind of get that. Yes, you want guys on the forecheck, but who are they turning the puck over to if you don't have the skill guy to put the puck in the net?
Yeah.
Ask Colorado, ask Tampa Bay. Are they putting their goons or grit instead of skill? So to me, it's just like that kind of comment. Yeah, I don't like it.
This guy thinks he's coaching the Devils in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. See, let's move on. We'll return to the Jets. Don't worry, they're still our favorite team. We both got Jets jerseys on. Support them till the end. But goodness, it's hard sometimes to be a Jets fan.
Yeah.
It's been hard to be a Jets fan forever. So bless us all. Let's talk about Nate McKinnon and that accidental shot to the ref. What are your thoughts on that, bro? The ref took a good one.
I don't understand. I mean, I guess you could look at it see the guy was in the vicinity, well out of stick range already at this point and swinging at the player. But to me, it still looks terrible. Like, he should have got some kind of either a fine, a suspension. I don't know. Maybe not 20 games like a lot of people were looking for, because that's the precedent that was set in the past. But I don't know how the NHL bought that.
You shouldn't be swinging your stick like that.
No.
Not at another human being.
No. They're like, it's okay. He was swinging at another player. Oh, okay.
Yes, that's still dangerous. If you're going to do that, you got to be accurate. Like, what's his name? Phil Kessel on, what's his name? John Scott. Remember that?
Yeah.
The legs one time, and then he went back at him. He was precise and accurate, and he hit him. That was crazy. But still, you can't be swinging sticks like that.
No, apparently you can.
Oh, my goodness.
It's okay. To me, I would have been interested to see if it was a lesser known player, or a fourth line guy, or an AHL guy or something. See what they would have got, right? Not the best player, one of the best players in the league, kind of thing. So
the NHL is so unpredictable with who's running that again? That former player for Anaheim and
Peros. Is it still Peros?
George
Peros, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah. Anyways,
no suspension in the NHL really ever makes sense.
No, it's nonsense. I still think Marchand's suspension was too long.
Yeah,
a little too long. Let's. I just want to mention that. Did you see that crazy collision with Musin and Weidman in Montreal?
No, I got to check that out. Actually,
it was insane. It was not on purpose, but it's just like a reminder of how dangerous hockey can be with guys moving so fast and on skates. And it was an accident, and it wasn't the hit itself that knocked him out. It was his head hitting the ice, which is even worse. Yeah, because that's the ground. That's concrete. Yeah. It's ice.
Yeah, there's no bounce there at all. That's gonna hurt. So
no, and he's gonna be out for a while. Which is a shot for Toronto, but hopefully he'll be okay, short term and long term, because those head injuries are crazy, brother.
Yeah, it's like Brian Little. They had him on the broadcast the other day.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that puck, and it ended his career basically at that point, like just getting hit in the head, and it's just, you get hit in the wrong spot even, and it's just, it ended his career. It knocked him out. So
I think, like, in hockey, I've seen probably the worst injuries out of any of the sports, like with the collisions and the skate blades and stuff. I'm surprised more people aren't injured with those. Like, I'll still forever remember watching that Clint Malarchuk. Oh my gosh. And I won't even go into details of that. We might get shut down from YouTube if we go into details, but it's a dangerous sport.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. I watch my kid who's a goalie getting pucks to the head, not intentional or anything like that, but it's happening. So,
yeah.
It's a little freaky, but.
Oh, goodness. Bless those hockey players. Speaking of injuries, our former captain, Andrew Ladd, is out for a month. Lower body injury. I hate when they do that. Like, not that I'm so curious, but they're so generalized and whatever. I get it. But he's 8 games away from 1,000. So he'll get back in there.
Hopefully he'll get it. Said 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, he's still got a bit of a season should be a bit of season still left when he gets back. So it's pretty good he lasted this long, because he hasn't had a season like this where he played most of the games in a long time.
No, and he was in the minors like last season, or the AHL minors. So
the Islanders were burying his contract basically, right? So
yeah.
To me, with the NHL right now, it's interesting is that Eastern Conference. You check out that playoff race.
It's there.
It's pretty much done. Like, besides positioning, like, Bettman can't be too happy with the way that thing's gone. He keeps that loser point in there just to keep the races interesting, right?
I hate that.
But the Red Wings they're 10 points back of the wild card spot.
Yeah,
I don't think they're that's a hard point total to overcome. So it's like the race is already over.
Yeah, all of his efforts in regards to playoff placing, seeding, I still hate the divisional playoff thing. That still maddens me. Just get the top 8, go 1-8. Let's get some different matchups. We've seen this team how many times already, brother?
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to see this matchup again. It's not going to any which way. Me and Bettman, we can.
Yeah, it's like the Smythe division of the 80s when you had the Jets, the Flames, and the Oilers, kind of when they had all good seasons, right?
Yeah.
Only one of those teams is going to make it out, right? But really, probably two of those teams should have been playing in the conference final. That's how good they were, right?
Yeah.
Same thing here. Like when the Jets played Nashville the other year,
brutal,
right? You know, like you had two good teams going at it in the second round.
Yeah.
It should always be 1-8, no matter what. You can have your wild cards. You can have it
Absolutely.
like that. After that, the divisions don't matter anymore. 1-8, 2-7, you know, stuff like that. So you're always having best against worst because that's what they work for all season, right?
Yeah.
You know, they didn't play it to play the second best team in the first round or second round or something like that. So,
bro, we still have a lot of weeks, and I guarantee you, Bettman's going to get another one of your bricks.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he will,
This guy. Any which way. Let's start off. Like, did you see this Bruce Boudreau interview that he gave? And someone asked him, "Hey, what are your 5 favorite wrestlers?" Did you check that out?
Yeah, I saw that.
I can't remember what the 5 were.
I got him right here, man.
Oh, shoot him off.
So he stuck with mostly Canadians, of course. So he had Bret Hart, Kevin Owens, Johnny Powers, who I do not remember.
No, he must be recent.
He mentioned he was the one who invented the figure 4.
Well, then it's not recent.
So yeah, no, that would have been a long time ago.
We got to look into Johnny Powers.
Yeah, and then his 2 recent ones were Stone Cold and The Rock, of course.
Those are pretty strong 5.
Yeah.
Those are pretty strong 5. So in that spirit, we're going to choose our 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. You want to go first and give me your 5, bro?
Sure, yeah. You know what? I'll say my list is mainly all baby faces because I guess I was the guy who jumped on those guys' bandwagon and stuck to them.
Okay, well, that's good because I like the heels. I do like the heels, man.
For me, early days, I would go with Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. You know, you can't top the Hulkamaniacs and all that. And Ultimate Warrior was just fantastic with his entrance, not even close to being a great wrestler or anything like that. But
no,
you know, it was still entertaining to me.
His matches on Saturday morning were like 2 minutes.
Yeah. I still remember one pay-per-view. Honky Tonk Man was supposed to wrestle somebody.
That's crazy. Yes.
And then it ended up being the Ultimate Warrior, ran out, pinned him, won the Intercontinental title, and then left.
Just like that. And like Honky Tonk was like the champion for like a year and a half or something like that. And it was done.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even blink. It's like, what just happened?
Just over, just like that. Yeah.
The good old days of wrestling. Who else you got on your list, brother?
You know, and then later I went to the 90s because that's where I got these characters really got me back into wrestling again with Stone Cold, The Rock, and even Mankind.
Like this Mankind, eh?
Or Cactus Jack or Brother Love, whichever, or Dude Love. What was it? Dude Love?
Dude Love, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, those are probably the other 3 for me.
All right. I got The Rock as well on mine. But I always like the heel Rock. And the rest are like heels. Booker T, Jake the Snake Roberts, Randy Macho Man Savage when he was a heel. That guy was the dopiest. He was one of my favorites. And I'm going to go really old school AWA. This was like my first wrestler ever. And he used to wear a robe. And when I was a kid, I used to wear my robe and go around the house like this, the Claw. And that was Baron Von Raschke. Man. I love that guy, the Claw. So anyways, those are my 5 favorite wrestlers. So shout out to Bruce Boudreau and being a wrestling fan. Man, I miss wrestling. I miss Saturday morning, man. When Jake the Snake took that snake and bit Randy Savage, that's crazy. That was before noon.
Yeah.
You can't see that
on TV. Traumatizing.
Yeah, no kidding. I heard I can't remember I think some guy was a guest on a talk show and he was like, yeah, I had a friend and he ran away from home when he saw that.
Oh my God.
Imagine being that scared. Anyway,
there was some good stuff back then.
It was the best stuff. It's all on YouTube. I watch it all the time. Let's move on to the NFL. Always a busy. NFL's always in the news, no matter what. Once the season over, they're right in it. The new NFL year starts soon. The combine is in a week and a bit. And then we have the draft coming up and then free agency in March. So we're going to take a request from a viewer on YouTube, Uncle Randy, saying, hey, I want you guys to talk about the QB Carousel. So we're going to talk about the QB Carousel, brother. There's a lot of QBs that might be available, a lot of teams that need QBs. What are some names that come to mind with you, brother? Who are the priorities? Who are the big ones? Who are not a priority?
Yeah, Uncle Randy's going to be watching that pretty closely because his Indianapolis Colts are going to be probably looking for a new QB when they get rid of Carson Wentz.
Yeah, they got to deal that guy away.
Yeah, he doesn't look very long there. So
No.
You know what? I can see them maybe going after Jimmy G. Probably one of the teams that would want him. If you plop Jimmy G in that team with that O-line and that running game, he's going to be a serviceable enough QB for you. Won't make mistakes normally all the time. You know, he still make mistakes, but not as much as Wentz did. But yeah, otherwise for Jimmy, you know what? Maybe he ends up in Pittsburgh.
Don't even know, man. Don't even.
I'd rather take a same thing though. If your O line is good enough, you got the running game. Jimmy G can be a serviceable kind of guy to get you. Yeah, you draft someone later and you have Jimmy for 2 to 3 years, and
for 20-something million, I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
like that's a lot of money. I'd rather them get Jameis Winston for $5.5-6 million and spend the money to get a good O line. So I don't know about that move. Carson, I'm not a fan of his or Jimmy G's. Sorry to say.
No, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. How quick each one of these moves. Right, you still got Deshaun Watson out there.
Yeah.
Who knows what's happening with that whole case?
Yeah, if he's in legal trouble, literally with that case. If he's still in trouble, bro, like with 20 people or something like that.
22, yeah.
Who's going to acquire that QB?
No, I mean, until you know for sure or close to if things are being settled, if he's being charged or whatever, you're not doing anything with him. Because Houston won a lot, and it's hard to give up that amount when you don't know, right?
Yeah.
So to me, the most interesting guys are what happens with Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, even, and of course Tom Brady. Is he going to his childhood team?
Forget that noise. He's done. Never mind. Aaron Rodgers might go to a childhood team, but I think he should just stay in Green Bay if he wants to win, because they want to give him max money. So just take it and try and win with that team, bro. You have a good defense.
Is it the money though? Because I mean, if they give them that max money, then you're not going out to get guys, right? You know, I don't even know. Maybe he doesn't want to deliver a championship to those guys and Matt LaFleur and all that stuff.
Well, then retire. That's petty white there with Karen Rodgers.
He came out of his 12-day cleanse today or something like that.
Oh, yeah. He's emotional with his Instagram posts. And some people say it's his goodbye to Green Bay. This guy's ridiculous. Like, this guy's a troll, and he loves the attention, brother.
We thought Brett Favre was bad back when he kept retiring, unretiring, or that, that drama that kept playing out with him every year. Rodgers is taking over.
Yeah, we don't have to even know. We don't have to. Oh, my goodness. But you mentioned Russell Wilson. He has to go. He has to get out of Seattle. Both of them have to, because Seattle's got to start a rebuild, bro. They're a shell of what they're trying to hang on to. Build around that big receiver 14 there.
Metcalf.
Thank you, Metcalf and Lockett. Yeah, and Lockett. Build around those guys. Build your O line up. Get a young QB. Start all over. Get some draft picks while you can for Russell Wilson. Clear some cap room. And he's just got to go. He doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, the thing is, there could be a few other QBs that are available here and there, right? You still got Mitch Trubisky.
Go to Pittsburgh. I want to see him in Pittsburgh, bro. I do. Yeah.
Why not take a flyer on him and see what you can get out of him, right?
Yeah, I'm sure Nagy was a huge part in messing that dude up.
Oh, for sure. No question.
I'd rather see that guy than anyone. Well,
Derek Carr may end up getting available. He'd be a good one in Pittsburgh.
I'd love to see him. Imagine if they got him. Oh, I'd be so happy. They're a little cap troubled though, so we'll see. That's what prevents him from getting a big name, I think.
Yeah, he's got 1 year left, I think, Carr. So you could always extend that deal and make it go. At the cap is the cap. If teams want to, they can mess around with the cap. It's going to skyrocket probably in the next couple of years again, anyways. So
you
can make it work.
You know who I think Russell Wilson should go to though? Denver. They have a good running game. They have a good O line. They have a pretty good defense. We'll see what their coach is like. He's new, but he's a coach that probably just watch the QB do his thing and let him play. So maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, I've heard Rodgers also to Denver. That's another one. Key place that keeps popping up for him if he goes somewhere else. So
of course, because of that QB QB.
Do you really want to go to the AFC?
Not in that division.
No, I mean your best shot still is getting through the NFC, right? There's only so many quarterbacks there and so many good teams. You got a lot of young, good QBs in the AFC right now, right? Coming up. So if you want to actually win something before you retire, those guys, Russell Wilson and Rodgers, are probably better off staying in the NFC somehow.
You think Carolina is a good place to go for a QB?
Could be. I mean, they seem like they got a pretty decent team. If McCaffrey stays healthy, good receivers, that'd be a good option.
Yeah, I like to see
apparently they called the Vikings about Kirk Cousins.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
'Cause
I think
you
he would
always
fit in okay there.
you always hear about Deshaun Watson going to Carolina because he went to Clemson and the owner for Carolina is obsessed. So that could happen too. That could happen too because he's desperate.
It could, but is he going to end up playing?
And just bring Cam Newton back so he can get his touchdowns in a year, and I can win that bet that we have against a friend and move
Yeah.
along.
I think
That's
you're
not
out
going
of
to
luck
happen,
on that
is
one, man.
it? And how about Houston? What do they do? Who do they go after? Teddy Bridgewater?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe they continue to roll with that Davis Mills from last year. He played a lot of games as a rookie. Did not look terrible. You know, he looked like a rookie
with that team though. So yeah, not bad.
So maybe you stick with him. Yeah, bring in a veteran guy like Teddy B would be one. You know.
Yeah.
Does Baker Mayfield stay in Cleveland?
I think so. Like, where else is he going to go? I don't know. I don't know where. New York? Where else? Where would he go? Does Daniel Jones stay in New York? I don't know where Baker. I don't know about Baker. What do you think about Baker?
Yeah, I think he sticks at least for one more year. I don't think he'll get that contract. You know, that because this is 5th year, I think already. So I'm not sure if he'll get that long-term contract this year or not, but I think he'll still be in Cleveland at least for this year.
Yeah, and I guess the question is like, does he prevent the team from signing anyone? Because this Odell Beckham thing couldn't have been a good thing for his reputation.
No.
You know, with other players in the league. So
and it's actually not looking good with Jarvis Landry in Cleveland either. Not necessarily with Baker, but with the whole team. He was a Twitter rant today or whatever. So he doesn't look long for there, and he was their best receiver. I know he was hurt a lot last year, but he's their best receiver, really. So
just Cleveland being Cleveland.
Yeah.
Like they're like Super Bowl contenders a year and a half ago, and then now look, it's gonna explode.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we both called that though. Early in the season, so not really a surprise, but much love to Cleveland fans. It's not y'all.
Sorry, Browns fans.
Yeah, it's sorry. If I can rant a bit about Pittsburgh and Kevin Colbert, that GM that's supposed to quit and he's still drafting a team, that's it. That's all I want to say. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense. Why is he still running anything?
No, let Tomlin do it already. Get out of the house, man. Like, I can't believe the loyalty sometimes is a bit too much.
Hey, it sounds like the Jets.
Yeah, Chipman, a bit too much with the loyalty. Oh my goodness. Quick thoughts on the XFL NFL partnership, brother. You got some good details on that. I wonder what it can mean for the CFL. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, apparently the XFL is supposed to come back 2023, so next year. But it's going to be working with the NFL on, they're saying, new innovation opportunities, including rule changes and development of officials as part of this new partnership. So I guess everything new they're going to try in the XFL, see how it works, and if it works good, send it over to the NFL. The one part I like is development of officials. You know, that's a good thing. You can never go wrong there. But I don't know what they're going to be playing. Are they going to be going up against the CFL? Are they going to be running up into the NFL season right before training camp, or kind of thing? But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not too concerned yet for the CFL or anything like that. But see how it goes. We'll see if it even gets off the ground.
Yeah, the concern with the CFL always is there's enough quality talent out there. We know that there's talent from colleges, junior colleges. And the thing is, the CFL kind of went through this in the 80s when the USFL was a big thing. And, even though they were doing it before that, you still have all these little colleges, like when James West was talking about HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities, to mine all those players. And you have guys like Deion Sanders in there right now. So I'm not too concerned about the talent level, which is always a concern.
Yeah.
But we'll see, bro. We'll see. And of course, you mentioned also the USFL is coming in there. I don't know much about the league yet, but that's going to be a lot of players taken out of the pool.
Yeah.
And we'll see. We'll see if CFL players leave to go play at home and these teams. That's always a concern too. But then you have players like Willie Jefferson who probably love it here and won't leave. So there's hope.
Yeah. I mean, the question is always too with the XFL and what was the other one there? AFL?
Yeah, which at what point last year?
From a couple seasons ago, right? Where it quit mid-season and players didn't get paid again anymore after that, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big concern probably for some players to look at these leagues. If you're already in the CFL and you're established right now, yeah, you're probably sticking around to the CFL. If you're a newer guy down south, yeah, you're probably looking at those leagues first before you go anywhere else. But yeah, hopefully all these leagues can coexist.
Yeah, and I guess they say Americans love football and stuff, but how much of the game do you want to watch? I get my fill in the offseason of both NFL and CFL with what's going on and stuff like that. I don't feel like I'm missing games, so
No.
we'll see, bro. We'll see.
I'm glad it's done right now, so you get that break from it, right? So by June or May, the end of May, beginning of June, you're again looking forward to football, the CFL season starting up, right?
Yeah.
And then when NFL comes back, it's like, okay, I'm now looking forward to this as well, kind of thing.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Too much. There'll be a football hangover, and people.
For sure.
And the league's full. That's what happens.
Yeah,
that's what happens. XFL was great that first year, and then garbage TV.
It was great because it was like, hey, let's check it out. Let's see what happens. Interesting. And then after that, it's like a big deal.
Yeah, when the guy broke his arm on that football chase to see who kicks off against the ball, it was like, that's not good. Yeah. NFL won't be using that. That's for sure. Let's move on to CFL. Not much going on. The heat of free agency is kind of cooling down right now. And in the spirit of that, let's look at the Mount Rushmore. We haven't done a Mount Rushmore in a long time. Do you remember when the last time we did a Mount Rushmore was? Was it CFL Canadian play? It was probably a CFL-based one, yeah?
Yeah, it could, or maybe, or the goalies one we did.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, let's bring it back. Let's run it back. Let's run back the Mount Rushmore, and we're going to do the greatest CFL free agent signings on our Mount Rushmore. So that's 4 of them. Let's go one for one, brother. You go first.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Anthony Calvillo, actually, from Montreal to Hamilton. At first, that signing looked like, big deal. Calvillo looked terrible in Hamilton, in Vegas with the posse and that. And then once he got to Montreal, everything clicked for him. So, yeah. And it, dominating era for the Alouettes while Calvillo was there. Not as many Grey Cups wins, probably as they probably should have had, but
no doubt. But
it was a big move for me.
Yeah, they own the East, man. Oh, the Bombers and them in the East. Oh, so frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm going to take another Montreal Alouette, and he played with other teams as well. But this is when Alfred Payton signed with Baltimore. He just put that defense over the edge. Chris Walby, who we had as a guest, go check that out in the archives. What a crazy guest he was, eh?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Unfiltered, hilarious. Walby being Walby. We'll for sure have him on again. And we have another guest coming up soon. So subscribe so you don't miss it. But any which way, Alfred Payton going to Baltimore. SWAC, one of the greatest free agent signings in CFL. Who do you got next, brother?
I'm going to go with Henry Burris from Saskatchewan to Calgary.
Smiling Hank.
It was a fantastic move because, I shot Saskatchewan in the arm kind of thing. They're pretty jilted lovers at the altar, but
yes,
he did go to Calgary though and become dominant there. So, and winning Grey Cups. So
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with the quarterback as well. Quarterback heavy in this thing because it's hard. Quarterback, CFL, like you said to me, is a quarterback driven league. So you're going to get some quarterbacks here. And I'm going to go with probably the number one all-time free agent signing. Both times he signed, Doug Flutie. Yeah. Go to Calgary and then go to Toronto. The guy's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick Doug Flutie next.
That's funny, eh? Not once, but 2 teams.
Yeah. I'll just go and win again and be dominant and be on one of the most dominant Argo teams of all time. Not Argo teams of the CFL. It was crazy. So good.
Yeah. Those Argo teams were ridiculous.
To play Doug Flutie the way. I curse that guy's name almost watching Friday Night Football and all that. Oh my gosh. Sorry, go on to
you got to stir up those horrible memories. That guy dominated the Bombers like nobody's business.
We should move along. Move along, brother. Who do you got next?
I'm going to go to the Bombers actually and go with Andrew Harris signing from BC to Winnipeg.
Yes.
That helped set in motion what Winnipeg was trying to build. And to me, Andrew Harris was a big part of it. So, without him, I don't know if we win that Grey Cup back in 2019.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a fantastic get from BC.
He was a key cog in both championship runs. And he just had a hometown spirit, and it brought other people to Winnipeg. And I agree, man. That's a huge signing. Signing. I was debating on this one for me here. Should I take Willie Pless? Or I'm going to take this person, Matt Dunnigan. And he went success wherever he went, but for me, emotionally, I'm going to take it when he signed with Winnipeg. That was probably still the biggest free agent signing in our team's history, without a doubt. And he brought an excitement to the game. He broke records in Winnipeg. He didn't get to win a cup. Injury, Sammy Garza. I'm going to go off again, but I'm going to take, you're breathing hard, brother. Take a deep breath in. It's okay. We got 2 in a row back to back. It's okay.
Pain.
Hey, with playing, there comes pleasure like we're having now. So it's okay. So I'm going to take Matt Dunnigan. More for emotion than actual end result, but I'm taking Matt Dunnigan.
Yeah, it pains me though. 92, 93 when Dunnigan, 93 he was hurt.
Yeah.
If he's there, we probably win that game, no problem. But yeah, time to move on.
I know it pains you, brother.
You know what? Just because of that, I'm going to stick with another good time for the Bombers, and I'm going to go with Willie Jefferson signing over from Saskatchewan because Harris was a big part of that, but Willie Jefferson solidifying that D-line and the way that guy can take over games for me was a huge play in getting the Bombers those 2 Grey Cups. So
yeah,
I know there's probably other ones, and I know, hey, if you disagree with any of ours, let us know in the comments. But
for sure,
to me, those are for me. Who's your last one?
Damon Allen, CFL great. He won like the Grey Cup MVP 3 out of 4 times he was in the Grey Cup.
Yeah,
and wherever he won championships, and he broke passing records. So it was hard for me to pick one. Like him going to BC was great. Going back to Edmonton was great.
To beat the Bombers.
Was he? I think he was traded and beat the Bombers. He was traded to Toronto. If I can't remember exactly, but any which way, he's making my list. Damon Allen, one of the greatest quarterbacks in professional football history. All these great quarterbacks, you're like, they dominated the Bombers because it's true. We got a long time by some great quarterbacks. Tracy Ham. Oh my God.
Tracy Ham, yeah. Jeez, another one.
Some CFL notes. Speedy Banks, $100K in Toronto, bro.
Yeah,
good contract.
Great deal.
I would just like to see him in the Bombers for $100K.
Yeah,
you never know.
Depends on his character too, though, right? Maybe it wasn't the greatest of characters either. You never want to bring that in. Toronto seems like they don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
Like who they're bringing in.
Harris.
Whereas Winnipeg's trying to keep their, the team good characters and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, and maybe the locker room is strong enough with guys like Jeffcoat, Jefferson, Big Hill, Bryant, Hardrick. Maybe they could. Any which way, it doesn't point now. He's gone to Toronto, but it'll be interesting. And I'm sure he wanted to go to Toronto with that rivalry with Hamilton.
Yeah, prove it. Stick it to Hamilton, right? For not signing him or releasing him, kind of thing. So. Yeah,
and speaking of the Argos, they signed Jim Kelly's nephew, Chad Kelly. He went to like Ole Miss, and he's like, I want to be the next Doug Flutie. I want to affect the game. So that's crazy. I hope he gets his chance, man. I know 3 last names is a starting quarterback there, but you never know.
BLT, right?
3 last names, BLT. We'll remember one day.
Yeah. The other interesting thing to me that I ended up reading from John Hodge, he was about an insider edition on Third Down Nation, that Kenny Lawler has no security in his contract.
That's not good. Yeah, that's not good.
He's getting 300, but at the same time, if he gets hurt, he gets cut. He's not getting anything, right? He could tear an ACL and be out for the season, and at that point, you're not getting anything at all. So once I found that out, I was like, oh, maybe you should have taken that BC offer for a little bit less, but at least you get 40, 50 grand. Who knows,
Yeah, that's risky. And, not to be a Chris Jones basher every week, but he is a character. And unfortunately, I can see him being a guy who just cuts him during training camp.
Yeah.
If his receivers are working out fine and he can get it for cheaper and he has no money owed to him, snip, you're gone.
Exactly.
I hope that doesn't happen. I pray that doesn't happen because he's a great receiver and it would suck.
But he can come back to Winnipeg and then shove it up Chris Jones, a few times a season.
Championship.
Yeah.
Let's roll. Let's move on from CFL Chad. Man, how many more days till June? I can't wait. I can't wait. Do we open the season with Saskatchewan? I think so. Or maybe the preseason opens with Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I can't remember offhand now.
Either way, Saskatchewan. It's always a good time. And Labor Day, such a good time. Let's move forward to some quick Canadian Olympic highlights. Last week, I was saying, man, they're going in for their lowest haul, the lowest gold medal. And what happened in the end, bro?
Yeah, they ended off with one of their lowest gold medal hauls since 94 in Lillehammer.
I was about to say Lillehammer.
So that's the lowest since there. But they ended up 4th overall in total medals.
Yeah.
Majority of them were bronze medals, but not bad. It's a good finish. They ended up ahead of the States even. I was surprised by the low medal count for the Americans.
Yeah.
But we got gold in women's hockey, so that's a good thing. Got the bronze in men's curling, and a few other good performances, getting some golds out of there. So all in all, good showing, I think.
I never understood why the total goal of gold medals mattered more than the total medals that a country won. I don't understand that standard.
Yeah, I don't get it either, but I guess, you do want the golds, of course, right?
You want the first place, yes. But, it's still good. Well, whatever. Yeah, give us your comments on that. I don't quite get it. If someone can explain to me why getting more golds is better than getting more total medals, please feel free in the comments section, because I can't figure it out, bro. I can't figure it out. Let's move on to my favorite segment, Benny's Brickhead of the Week. Who do you got for us this week, brother?
Yeah, unfortunately, it has to do with another person being racist. So I'm giving it to Klim Georgiev, who's part of the Dauphin Kings MJHL hockey team.
Okay.
They were playing the Wayway Capo Wolverines in a game. And close to the end of the game, the guy makes a gesture that appears to mimic firing a bow and arrow towards one of the Wolverine players. He ended up getting a gross misconduct penalty, which is only 1 game suspension, but I'm sure he'll end up facing more. So, Klim Georgiev, you are my Brickhead of the Week.
Yeah, this is getting stupid already. Like 2022. And of course, the guy shouldn't play, but I hope that they have the proper procedures and training for this guy, because you're still a young kid. You can still learn. It's stupid. He's in the heat of the moment, I'm sure. He's revealed some of his true feelings on the other hand, but still, I hope they don't just cast him out and you're done. I hope there's support available for this situation.
Do agree with that for sure. You want to see a young guy get help for sure, or learn from it. But still, in this day and age, man, how dumb are you?
Very. That's absolutely stupid. That's the thing, and hopefully that stupidity can. Unbelievable. Good brickhead. Let's move on to friends and neighbors' favorite segment. Eat that hot dog. I'm going to go with the BC Lions. Missed this last week with all the news. Hiring the first full-time female coach in the Canadian Football League. Canadian defensive assistant began coaching in 2017 in a high school. Already at the pro level. So eat that hot dog. My hot dog goes out. But what do you got, brother?
I'm going to go with the Paralympic Games, and I'm going with Dennis Deason from Manitoba, who will be participating in the wheelchair curling. He's already won two-time medals at Paralympic Games. So my hot dog goes out to Dennis Deason, and good luck, and bring back a medal.
I hope so. I always forget, and I ashamedly forget, that the Paralympics are just soon afterwards, and I don't catch them until the end of the whole event, because I'm pretty much Olympic out.
You know what, man? I didn't even barely watch any of these Olympics. I watched the women's hockey, the gold medal game, on tape delay.
That was crazy, though. That was crazy. That was great.
I recorded it, watched the next morning, but other than that, maybe spent less than an hour watching Olympics.
I agree. But I did enjoy there not being those professional players in the NHL, from the NHL playing the Olympics. It made it more wide open and unpredictable, even though I didn't watch much of the tournament, to be honest with you. But I like that, even though I'm kind of not a huge Olympic person.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of a burden on the cities that they're in, but I'm not going to start with that. We need another 45 minutes to go on with that. So, Benny, do you have anything to say to the people?
Just want to say, good luck to all the boys and girls playing in the hockey playoffs coming up. Good luck to them all, and have a good showing, and have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Represent. Have a good tournament. And in the famous words of Tommy Lasorda, the difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a person's determination. Be kind, be safe, help each other out. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.